in the little Capra Mini UTB18. I've got the home system right now. However, now it's time to try out the Furatec right here. This is a motor and ESC that, as I understand it, is supposed to be simple plug and play. We're going to find out. Let's get to the table and let's convert this to Furatec. Let's see what happens. Let's go. Just to show you guys the home system that's in there, you got this side, the motor side, which is clean because it has to be. And this is the ESC side. Yeah, lots of wires on this setup, but man, does it run smooth. This is the Furatec Stinger system right here. Direct bolt-in for the Capra Mini UTB18. Now, this thing has a 2500 kV motor, got a 40 amp, 70 amp burst Lizard Pro ESC inside that case. This is a prototype, so yes, it does have the printed case on it, but let me go over some of the specs. The ESC specs are 2 to 3S battery. It has a selectable BEC from 5 volt to 6.5 volts, 2 amps. On this particular vehicle, that might be okay. We'll have to find out on that one. 40, 70 amps burst. It's got the Bluetooth module built right in there. So that's kind of in there. That's nice to have. It is not waterproof, so make sure you take care of that. And pretty much it is lightweight at like 0.3 ounces. The motor is 2500 kVs and it is an outrunner, meaning the outside of the motor turns. I'll show you guys that soon. The motor is also good to 4S. Now, maximum current, only about 15 amps, so this should be a really efficient little motor. With the setup, you will use the stock pinion gear, and this is that outrunner part I was telling you about. Look at that. The outside of the motor turns. The home system on the left and the Furatec on the right. Now, the home system, that is a much stronger system. I mean, just really, look at the motor. So, yeah, and that 380 right there by Holmes will fit 540, 380, and 280 positions. So it's got multiple bolt patterns on there. But that's more of a 1/10 system, and it is really, really super strong in the Capra. So this is going in, which I think might be the better option, just because it's smaller, lighter, and look at the less amount of wires. Besides, I have bigger projects that need this. So anyway, this is what's going in. Should be nice, simple, and clean in there. The motor's in place with the stock pinion gear. Sounds nice and smooth. Just remember, all that rotates on the end of the motor there. Make sure you keep everything away. And that's one of the beauties of this system. There's not much wires. I mean, that's it. Just to the ESC. So now that I've got this buttoned up, I'm going to go ahead and put this back on the skid and put it back in the vehicle. I'm just simply going to glue this into place right down here on this side. This way I have enough battery plug sticking out. Now I'll put the stock servo back in. I'm going to get into the tuning of this ESC. Now on my receiver I do have these extensions because, well, it's just easier to change out like different servos and stuff like that by having the extensions. And it kind of makes it easier to get all the way up in there. You can see that GT5 hanging out back there. But anyway, I'm going to glue that into place, zip tie these up, and should be close to driving this thing. Oh, also, there is an on-off switch on this ESC. I've just simply turned it on. So it'll be on and off with the battery plug. Simple as that. So there it is, guys. Nice, simple, clean. There's enough room on the back side of this so you can actually put a little tray. And actually put your electronics on there. Could possibly do it up front as well. So on this side over here, also a lot less wires. So tons of room in there with this setup. Tons. Gentlemen, let's do this. Top speed. Pretty decent. Plenty workable, but how does it crawl? Let's go find out. Let's do this. All right, it switches into drive mode pretty quick down low. So the actual startup or sinusoidal wave is sinusoidal, whatever. Actually starts really low with this thing. If I can get this without rolling. Looks like we're doing okay. I still haven't got into the suspension. I know there are overdrive gears from several manufacturers on the way. So we got quite a bit. You can bump the BEC up in this if you want to. I actually had it like that on the table, but the servo started kind of jumping, so it was not very happy with that. But we'll have to see. It feels good though. For the smaller vehicles like this, I kind of like this little minefield of rocks to mess around with. To me, it's a good little area to play around on. Not too bad. No BEC, stock servo. So, well, let's see here if we can get this without rolling. It's going to roll if I keep going with that. There we go. Now, the last time I tried Crack a Doom with it, it had zero chance. But let's give it another try here. Maybe I'll get lucky and get like the perfect line. Make that front end pull up onto there. Not wanting to make that pull. Let me see. There we go. I don't think so. Nope. The more I moved it, the worse it got. This is a much easier entry into the Crack a Doom because you're already facing up. The FOC seems to be working pretty darn good on it. Get that front end to settle down. Now, see, once that back drops in, it's over. We'll try a different line. I gotta say, it crawls really good. I guess it's a good thing it gets out of the sinusoidal so fast. And I know when I had the home system, I actually had a 12-tooth pinion gear in it. Stock is 13-tooth, but seems like we're gonna be just fine. Wonder if I got enough punch. I know I don't have the center of gravity to get this. Wonder if I can jump up this thing a little bit here. I don't think so. If I can get it. Oh, it's got nice punch to it. That it does. Really nice punch, actually. But it's way too top heavy. That's gonna change. Nope. Now, just so you guys know, this is 3S capable, so that's gonna have to come a little bit later because I'm gonna do some battery plug adjustments to get my current 3Ss in this thing. Now, what do I do here? I bet you I'm gonna fall. Let's see. Let's see if I can somehow get down this thing without crashing. Well, almost without crashing. Now, this is something I've been wanting to try for a while. Let's just see. Let's just see here. Oh, it gets it. But look at how far from the bottom it is. This is going to be fun to throttle out real careful. As soon as that back falls down. Oh, piece of cake. So you're cruising along and you happen to find a big, nasty hole. And it gets you. And you're like, oh no, let's try to back up and rock it. And it just gets worse and worse and worse. You're like, oh man, better call a tow truck. Nope. Check this out. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and try some slow climbing here. At the point where it transitions from startup to drive, it does kind of have a little bit of a lull right there. You can kind of see it a little bit right there. But the darn thing runs pretty good though. You just got to drive with that in mind, I guess. See, that's the sinusoidal start. You look at how slow it's crawling right there. Look at that. Look at that. Super slow. And then when you transition into the regular drive, which it does it early enough that it's not that big of a deal really. I mean, if you're going to sit here and crawl, you know. Oh,
it'll be good to go. But it is noticeable on this climb right here. I'm just throttling it a little bit. All right.
Well, guys, there you go. I do gotta say, it drives pretty smooth. It's got plenty of torque. The FOC does its job really good. It switches from startup and to drive early on, so it's not as noticeable. But there's a little bit of transition from startup to drive. And like I said in the video, sinusoidal, that's the startup, where basically it drives the motor like a stepper motor. I mean, basically. And if there's like 14 poles on it, it can actually step that to 28. Like it can hit in the middle of the poles. And that in sequence gives you the real ultra slow rotation and also makes it kind of want to do the FOC, field oriented control. But as it transfers over to drive, it goes into a normal drive mode, and that's the little bit of transition. But really, it's not even hardly noticeable. You gotta really look down at it. And all these ESCs have a little bit of that. So this is a real nice improvement on the previous ESCs I've had from Furatec. So I'm happy with that. It's a bolt-in type deal. Not a lot of wires in there. Super smooth, good to 3S. I've got to go try it now. I got to change a plug out so I can use my normal 3S batteries or make an adapter. But anyway, I'm happy with it. So in that description, I'll link it up down below. So make sure you check that out. Guys, hey, I like it. Check that description. Use those links. Hit that subscribe and ring that bell. You guys are awesome. Catch you later. If you're still watching, you are top shelf. You are the cream of the crop, the pick of the litter. You are phenomenal. Thank you for watching to the end of the video. It means a lot to me. Now, down below, there are links for the products you see, also for channel memberships. If you guys want to be a part, channel members get early viewing on pretty much everything that I can. So, guys, check that description. There's a lot of info down there. Thank you all for watching.